Hi friends, this is Chris. Welcome back to the channel, and this is your daily news fix. We'll be talking about the WeWork bankruptcy, consumer debt, and AI. So, always appreciate you coming back, and let's just jump right in. Guys, we were just talking about this yesterday. WeWork was rumored to file for bankruptcy, but it looks like they went ahead and did it. And you can see here, WeWork files for bankruptcy amid office market downturn. Desk renting company seeks to restructure more than $13 billion in lease obligations through Chapter 11 process. At one point, believe it or not, they were worth $47 billion. And I remember a time when this was all the rage. Essentially, the idea is that you get all these, young people and startups together. You can have your dating and your office work all in the same spot. And the thing is that you would like sort of have your desk and your work area in one area, and then sort of like you have a communal, coffee machine, you have food, all these things. And I've actually been to these WeWorks. I've been to a couple locations. They're pretty nice buildings and they're really cool, designs. But you had a couple things going on. One is I think they just completely mismanaged their money. If I ever saw a documentary on WeWork, they had like crazy parties, and it was kind of a cult thing. Moreover, they also had to face just sort of the recent, movement, work from home, plus the pandemic just really hurt them. And it's not just WeWork, guys. It's, any sort of commercial space is struggling with, work from home kind of stuff. The thing with WeWork is I guess they're going to stay open, at least according to this. It says it is in his bankruptcy filing in federal court in New Jersey, WeWork requested to give up 69 leases, saying that it's rationalizing its office portfolio was critical to its restructuring. The company has been in active negotiations with more than 400 landlords to improve lease terms, right? So they're negotiating with a bunch of people. And then also says here, WeWork said its office spaces were open and operational as normal. And its international business outside of the US and Canada was unaffected by the bankruptcy filing. So evidently, if you work in one of these things, you can still go there. The building is still open. They're reorganizing their debt. I guess they got $13 billion in lease obligations. And again, this is Chapter 11. Moreover, which I think is really fascinating about this, is that one of the things that I think hurt WeWork is it was hard to sort of, how can I say, protect their business model because there are other shared office companies out there, at least in various international locations I've been. I can't comment so much on the USA, like how many competitors there are, but I can just tell you abroad that there's more than just WeWork. It's kind of like, Uber had this idea of having the, shared car, essentially. Like, you guys know how Uber works. The Lyft comes along, and then there's a bunch of like copies of that in various places in the world. And, one thing I will say is that I don't necessarily think that, these buildings are just going to be demolished or anything like that. They're worth something because they're nice designs, they're nice buildings. And, theoretically, maybe we'll turn all these WeWorks into We Lives kind of thing. I remember hearing stuff about that where that was sort of like the new thing, was where you have these shared living spaces. But I don't know, post-pandemic, I haven't seen any articles about that stuff. Anyone is in one of these kind of places, let me know. They do exist in big cities. So I know for sure LA and New York. I'm not sure about other places in the USA. But it is a thing. So don't just think that the shared office is the only game in town for this kind of, arrangements. The basic idea is that you sort of have your own private area and then you share a communal area. So, but yeah, WeWork declared bankruptcy. And it's interesting because they represent sort of the bubble market that we've been in. Moreover, the idea that was all these startups and young people would get together, they'd work, they'd date, everyone get rich and etc. But sometimes the money isn't there. And I want to point this out because this is similar to other situations that we have looking around the market. Like, take a look at the headline here. This is very similar. EV makers turn to discounts to combat waning demand. And it's interesting because, whenever I make a video on Tesla, the Tesla pumpers just think that everyone's going to, just make a bunch of money out of thin air and go buy the Cybertruck, right? The thing is, the money's got to come from somewhere, right? For your doggy crypto or your, bubble Tesla stock to go up, the money's got to come from somewhere. The company's got to make some money from someone, right? And companies like a WeWork's declaring bankruptcy, and now they're talking about EVs here have to lower prices, and they're going to technically essentially take a hit on their margins, right? The money's got to come from somewhere. And I think what's going on as well is young people are really struggling, because I saw this article, and I want to show you guys this is a really important one, because it shows that debt levels are going up. Moreover, as you guys know, interest rates are high, so it's really affecting a lot of people. And you can see the headlines here is a share of debt held by U.S. consumers younger than 50. So that's the key, younger than 50, rise by most on record. So basically, if you're under 50, there's a high chance that your debt is really skyrocketing because interest rates are going up, right? As you guys know, maybe you're on a variable credit card or variable mortgage or variable auto loan or whatever. There might have stuff that's variable, and you're gonna suddenly notice like, oh my god, my payments are just kind of skyrocketing here. And you could also be increasing your spending due to inflation. You guys know this. I always say the same thing. Food costs a lot more. And my understanding, and you can see here, I mean, it's just going up. This is the debt taken by people under 50, and so the basic idea is that I guess the younger people now make up, what is this? It says their share of of all consumer debt increased to 55%. So they have more of the debt. Before they only had 47% of debt. So again, if you're under 50 in terms of like total consumer debt, you're carrying more of the debt. And this is a mortgage, credit card, student loans. Here's some more charts. That's why I want to show you guys this stuff. It becomes more clear when you see it. So this is the blue bars here. This is sort of people over 50, how their debt levels are. And then you can see here there's a big spike with people under 50. You can see that right here, right? This big spike right there. Moreover, take a look at this. This is where the debt is. So for young people, and this is sort of why I talk about cars a lot in this channel, auto loans right here. That's a big part of young people debt. Moreover, you also have student loans. So you have these two things in here, cars and school. The middle one is mortgage. And moreover, we're having auto loan. What is this? Originations by age. I think this is, they were talking about delinquencies coming up as well. But this chart doesn't show delinquencies. So what this chart is basically showing, it says overall U.S. household debt owe 1.6 trillion in auto loans, but the majority of loans are originated by younger consumers. So it's the young people who are getting loans. And something with the whole loan situation, and I've said this many, many times. If you have to take a loan for a car, get a cheaper car. Basically, I'm telling you, pay cash for a car. I just don't think it's a wise investment to get a new car and get whatever 10% interest or whatever you're paying on your car. Pay cash for it, and if you can't afford it, get a cheaper car. It is real, and I understand you got to get transportation, guys. I really get that, but you don't need the fanciest vehicle out there, and it may seem like all your friends are getting it, but if you look at these charts, all your friends are going into debt and their debt's increasing, and that's not necessarily something that you want to be a part of. Here's the delinquency thing. So here's young people. So the young people, this is 18 to 29. That's the black bar there. Their delinquency rate in auto loans is going up. Same with age 30 to 39. That's the pink bar, or the pink line, I should say. That one's also going up. So you guys can see it here, whereas older people, who knows, maybe they're paying cash for cars, or maybe they're just keeping the car that they already have. Etc. But delinquencies are going up in terms of auto loan. Credit card is the same story. Basically 18 to 29, right? The delinquencies are going up. Both the black line and the pink line, you can see it. Yes, they're going up in other groups. You can see it. It's going up across all groups, right? I mean, if you guys can see the chart here, but it's going up the most among young people. So that's sort of why we're looking at this now. Moreover, there could be some relief, and I say could be. The market theoretically is pricing in rate cuts happening in May or June of what I've read, maybe a quarter point. I'll just say this is the who knows category. That's a long ways off, right? That's a long ways off from now. But market is thinking that the Fed is done raising rates. I've also read that perhaps the Fed will do maybe one more. So we're kind of in that game, and we'll see. I personally think the market, and this is just how it's been really irrational as of late. When I see essentially housing costs are still high, I see people are still on strike. I also see delinquencies are going up. I just always say prepare for the storm. Moreover, remember the many employers are looking to fire you. So make sure you're secure at your job. I think that's really important right now. And definitely have some sort of safety reserve, because you just don't know. You can't predict the future. One thing that I've mentioned also on this channel, and I've said it several times, I think talking about switching over to international news with Israel and the war. I guess Netanyahu was giving an interview with ABC News, but he was saying they're indefinitely going to control in Gaza. So the time period, meaning that who knows when it's going to end, maybe never. The basic argument that he's making, and I think it's an easy argument to make, is if we don't control it, right? If we don't, have an occupying force in Gaza, You already saw what happened, right? There's going to be more terrorism. So it just feels like a land grab to me. So this is from Netanyahu. There's a quote from the ABC News. It says, the Gaza Strip should be governed by, quote, those who don't want to continue the way of Hamas. And I think Israel for an indefinite period will have the overall security responsibility because we've seen what happens when we don't do it. So that's the argument that they're going to make. I just looks like a land grab to me. I'm not defending Hamas by any stretch, but I think you can, remove Hamas and have something else, hopefully more peaceful, etc., but not necessarily just take all of the land. So, from their point of view, hey, we're just going to take the land because, we see what happens when we don't take it. So, we'll keep an eye on that one. And then I mentioned AI. This is a really fascinating thing that I didn't know YouTube was doing until recently. I just read this. You guys can read here. It says, YouTube is testing AI-generated comment section summaries. Like, what? So the basic idea, I guess how it would work is, when you guys comment on my videos, etc., instead of someone reading through all the comments, the AI would just like summarize it for you. And I think this would be part of maybe their premium subscription thing. I don't know. It seems it's interesting. I mean, because I don't know. I feel like they're missing the boat here. And it just, telling you guys, when I watch YouTube and when I do my own channel, it's fun to read through what people's various comments are, right? So what the heck are people saying? Opposed to just reading one summary. But I don't know if that's what you want, if that's what the kids want these days, they don't want to read through every single comment because they can't read. They just want to read the robot sort of like tell them what everyone's saying. I don't know. Maybe people want that. One thing I'll also say too, which is kind of interesting, if you guys do this long enough, you'll see it for yourself, and I'll just tell you about it because like I see it. What's funny is I've always wondered this, and I have no proof. I don't, as I said, I don't have no proof, but I do see things to where sometimes if I make a video about another scammy YouTube person, you guys will watch it and you'll comment on the said video. And then usually like, I don't know, a week or two later or something like that, there'll be like 5 comments in a row that'll be highly detailed and they'll be defending said YouTuber, be it a me Kevin, be it a Larry Jones, be it whoever, right? And it doesn't really match what a normal person would say. So I've always wondered, and again, I have no proof other than what I've seen. It really feels like spammy type of comments that people buy. Now, is it really happening? Who knows? I do know for sure there are spam comments on YouTube. So that 100% I can tell you it exists. Whether or not, other YouTubers like hire people or tell other friends to write spammy contents, who knows? It's just, you'll know it when you see it. When like someone's writing a really long paragraph, point by point by point of why, just in this example, why Meet Kevin is the most awesome guy in the whole world. And it's got like 3 points. And then you'll see another comment, it's like the exact same 3 points. It's written by a different account, of course, but it feels like, okay, is this Kevin writing this thing? Is it a robot writing this thing? Who knows? But I put this all together because when you see that YouTube is indeed testing AI-generated comment summaries, right? It just shows that much of our interaction going forward in the world online may be with robots for all you know. So this is something that I make a real clear point of in my videos, and I hope you guys understand. I do these uncut. I do it live. I just do a single take and push record and start talking to you. And I hope we can still have this human interaction or how can I say, natural communication. That's why like I stutter, I say ums, all these kind of things. Because the alternative is like, you get it, like it's just AI interaction all day, every day, where, if instead of like reacting to whatever video or comments, you just have people buying comments from robots and AI companies to do this stuff. So I question what YouTube is doing. I also understand too that is I think what they're going to be doing with YouTube videos is like, I've seen this before where they're going to sort of summarize the video as the video plays, which is also kind of like really dumbing down things. I mean, we're already in the world of TikTok, and this is, which is, I mean, you guys are in my feelings of this, like TikTok's really dumb. I mean, it just is. There's no other way to put it. But this is something that I really kind of feel sad, and I'm happy you watch this channel, and hopefully you don't have this problem, and you shouldn't if you watch my channel. But when I read comments of videos, I can tell when someone doesn't understand something at all. I can just tell. So like, for example, in this example, we're talking about YouTube and AI generated comment summaries, right? and I'll say, hey, what do you think about AI comments? And someone will just say like, Elon Musk's Optimus robot's going to be fantastic. And I'm just like, we're not even talking about that. And you'll see these kind of comments because I can clearly see that someone either doesn't understand a video at all because we're not even on topic or even the right point. Or, for example, we're talking about, WeWork bankruptcy, and you tie that to there's not enough money, and someone will start talking about rainbows. It's just it's the same kind of thing as like, you'll know it when you see it and you're like, wow, these people really don't understand anything that we're talking about here. So like, what's going on? And it makes you kind of question the young generation, and I worry about it, and I just use TikTok as an example, because I don't want to remove the human interaction and the importance of language, right? And when you bring in this kind of stuff where YouTube's sort of, how can I say, pushing AI interaction, or saying, hey, don't read people's comments, just read our summary. I think the argument for it is the young people are gonna say, well, I'm such a busy person doing my hustles and my 25 ways to get rich that I'm too busy to read through stuff. But there's something to be said about understanding that when you, hopefully now at least on this channel, when you do read comments from other people, they are human beings. I can just tell you for sure, this I know for a fact, on other channels they do not control spammy contents, right? So that you'll see it. You'll some channel and they'll be like, 40 comments in a row, like, oh, you should buy XXYZ. Like you'll know when you see it, and you'll notice that there's none of that on my channel, because I have all of the controls there, and if I see stuff that's like that, it's gone. So I am well aware of the nefarious things that happen on YouTube, and things like that, and I try to look out for that kind of stuff, but YouTube seems to be kind of pushing it. So anyway, I just wanted to chat with you guys about this stuff, all of these issues. I think they're important, and one of the things that we try to do on this channel on the daily news is just keep you abreast of what's going on, and stories that I think are fun, and hopefully they're fun for you also. So thanks again for watching, everyone, and I'll catch you next video.